Hello everyone, welcome back to AutoGoogle. Today I have a new video for you guys. So I just want to discuss about this 2016 Lexus RX350 right here. Even though this is the last generation RX350, I just want to know what this one got. Like, we have a new one, but this one is a base model as well. Just for information, I just want to know what this one got for us back in 2016. So let's get right into it. As we move out from the center of the grill, we can see the nice Lexus iconic grille design with the contrast black and silver trim right around it. Looks very nice. And as we move into the headlight housing right here, we have daytime running lights with LED headlights, LED high beams, and incandescent turn signals all in one housing, which is pretty nice. And then here we have our LED fog lights in the black housing with silver trim around it. Looks very classy. Overall, I really like the front end design of the car. Very nice and catchy. And as we move on to the side, we have a flowing design in the back. Looks very nice with the SUV and hatchback like design. And as we move on to our wheel and tire setup, we have two 35/65 R18s. As I said, because it's a base model, we have a thick sidewall and one colored alloy rims. And as we move on to our OVRMs, we have integrated LED turn signals right there. And then we also have keyless lock and unlock both in our front and back door handles, which is a very nice feature to have in the base model, of course. And then in the back, we could see a nice bold design. Looks very nice. And as we could see in our tail light setup, we have LED tail lights, incandescent turn signals, and reverse lights. So not a complete LED setup, but of course this is 2016, a base model. And then here we have our dual exhaust tips right here with silver outline. Looks very nice, and it shows off the dual exhausts. So that's pretty cool. Then as we move on to this side, on the bottom, you could see our nice indent on the bottom. Now we move on to the inside of the car. As you can see the door panel right here, a nice wood-like design with metal touch on the sides, and also a chrome finished door handle. Looks very classy for a luxury car. And then here we have our soft touch materials wherever we touch. And here we have our mirror controls and our window controls with all four auto up and down windows. And as we move down, we could see our small cubby and cup holder space right there with a speaker as part of our 9-speaker sound system. But as we move down, we have a small light that illuminates the nighttime and our illuminated still plates right there. On the driver's side panel, we have the same metal touch on top of our AC vents. As we move down, we have blank switches with our trunk open and close, our hood latch release right down there. And as we move on to our steering wheel, on the left side we have our audio and our phone controls on this side, and on the right side we have our gauge cluster controls like up and down. And then here we have our analog gauge cluster with a small screen in the center. And then as we move to the side, we have our electronic tilt and telescoping steering wheel controls for our luxury car. That's a nice luxury touch. And then here we have our cruise controls like this on most of our Lexus models at this time. Here we have our sun visor right there, which we could just pop out on this side to block the sun on the sides, and we could just like latch it in. It just like sticks into place like that. And now for our infotainment system, we have an 8-inch infotainment system, which is not touchscreen. That is a little bit disappointing, but it's controlled by a wheel on the bottom, which is very easy to learn. Our classy Lexus clock with all the physical buttons right there for our volume AC controls, but we also have AC controls also in the infotainment system to control with. Now here we have our electronic parking brake and our electronic hold right there with our driver and passenger 3-stage heated seats. Then as we move down, we have our old style gear shifter, pretty normal to us and everyone. And here is our infotainment control buttons and our switches to control that. Then here we have 2 cup holders, the cool trick, watch my shorts for that. Here we have a dry mode selector with traction control and a small sway bar disconnector and all those stuff. Nothing big. Here we have our center armrest, which opens up to a pretty good cubby space, a good amount of storage space right there. And up there we have our auto dimming rear view mirror with our garage controls right there and our directions. And here in the overhead area, we have our reading lights right there, which ons when we touch like that. And then here we have our sunglass holder right there, a pretty nice cubby space to put your sunglasses in. And here we have our safety connect SOS button to call the ambulance or the cops. And here we have our nice metal trim up there, which looks very nice. And our decent sized glove box, nothing big. And then here we have the same door trim right there with our like nice wood-like finish and everything. That looks very nice. Here in the second row, nothing really exciting to see. Same thing as a family car. Same wood trim, a small tweeter-like sub speaker over there, another speaker on the bottom right there, a small cup holder area, and here's how our back seat looks. A pretty good entry space with reclining on the seats. Then here's our bench seat right there, nicely bolstered and everything. A small light up there, and here we have our AC vents on the for the back, and a small cubby space with the cigarette style power outlet right there. Really not that useful unless you really need it. Now for the trunk of this car, which is power operated with the key right there, or we can also open it by the button up there. This trunk has 18.4 cubic feet of space with the second row folded up, but with the second row folded down, the small lever right there, which we could only put down but it has to be manually pulled back up. This trunk has 56.3 cubic feet of space. Then here we have a small tow hook. Then here we have a light and a cigarette style outlet back here too. And then as we move on, we have a small liner that separates the second row and the cargo space. And as we lift up the floor mat, which is all weather right here, which we lift up, we have our spare tire right over there. And then that's literally the trunk. Pretty minimalistic, nothing cool. And as we could close it with our button right over there, power close. As it closes down like that. Moving on to the place where the power is made in this car, of course, the engine bay. This car has a 3.5 liter V6 which makes 295 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque with an 8-speed automatic transmission. A pretty good engine for this class of a car, but with a small drawback of the acceleration. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for all of y'all who are supporting the channel. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye.